Good old luchador wrestling. Is there anything out there that can top it? I don't think so, but we'll talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the Amazon Prime original movie, Cassandro. This film is, of course, directed by Roger Ross Williams. Okay, so Cassandro is a story that I don't know much about. It's based off a true story of this gentleman named Sal Armendariz, who basically rose up in the luchador system, kind of became famous, and was what is called an exotico, where it basically... he dressed in some very outlandish fashions and stuff like that. They find out that he's gay, so they run with it, and he becomes very, very popular. So what this story is it's kind of a biography story about his kind of, rise to fame and his journey and meeting his, trainer, and then dealing with his mother, who he's trying to buy a home for, get her in a much better situation that they're in. But they live in kind of a poor area of El Paso, Texas, and it's just about his story about, what kind of person he was, how passionate he was for the idea of wrestling, and how people used it to basically rise his star to kind of the popular figure that he is in the luchador system, as well as making him one of the most successful wrestlers in this history of wrestling in a lot of respects. So the idea of luchadors and Lucha Libra and all that good stuff is something I'm not wholly familiar with because I don't really follow wrestling that much, but I've kind of love it in the last few years. I like the idea of it. I think it's much more passionate than even the WWE, much more outlandish. People that wear the mask, you see like Rey Mysterio, that type of thing. It's one of those things where it feels like there is a much more passion than there is in America at this point in the stage and stuff like that. So when you have a wrestler like Cassandro who comes out of the mix, who's gay and who dresses in very outlandish fashions, and this comes in the early 80s, which was kind of looked down upon, especially when the AIDS epidemic was coming into the mix, it's something to kind of be interested and be intrigued by. And I was really interested in this movie ever since I heard about it. Once again, at Sundance, like another film that I'll release tomorrow in my review. And on top of everything, you have Gael García Bernal, who is a very talented actor. He's been in a lot of interesting stuff. I think like the Motorcycle Diaries and of course E2 Mama Tambien. And I heard a lot of good things about this film coming out of Sundance. I heard it was really well done. I heard that Gael García Bernal was really passionate. He did a really nice job. I heard this movie was really much more focused on the mother-son relationship because she was an individual that was very very important to his life. So I was looking forward to this movie when I heard about it, and then I found out it was coming out recently soon. So I asked around to find out if I could get a review copy, and of course they were nice enough to send it to me, so I appreciate that. And so with that said, knowing that this is a true story, knowing that they probably took liberties on some of the characters and stuff like that as they usually do, how does it stack up as a film, and what is it worth watching? And so with that said, for my honest review, this movie's fantastic. It really is. Like another film I'll just talk about soon, this film has a lot of heart to it. It has a lot of passion to it. It really takes the material seriously, and it doesn't downtrot, or it doesn't take down the character of Sal Amadeus, or the fact that he becomes Cassandro. It actually kind of goes with it and allows this character to feel like an actual person. Yes, there are points in this movie where the fact that they know he is homosexual or gay is something that, turns off a lot of people because certain people don't like that situation, but it never sticks to that sticking point. It allows this character to have his moment in the sun, his ability to move up in the system, the fact that they were able to use it, to have people be inspired by this individual, have people that would never come out of the closet or come out into the open because they would be so scared. It's a wonderfully done story with very R-rated stuff to it, but it is a wonderfully done story about an individual that's just passionate, is willing to do whatever it takes to get what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. And then on top of everything, it's a very centralized story about a family relationship and how passionate he was on helping his mother and getting her kind of to lift up, so on and so forth. And she's, has issues with using medicine and stuff like that, which she is causing her a lot of angst and stuff like that. But you see the two characters, you see the mother and the son, and how they work well together, and they feel really loved, and they feel like they just connect on a friend relationship as well as a mother-son relationship. There are scenes in here that are awe-inspiring to watch and very inspiring to watch, and it's a beautifully done, beautifully directed, well thought out, well-provoking movie, and I really respect that. It's a movie where it can go certain ways and be really cheap and really tacky, and it doesn't do that. It takes it very, very real and does a really nice job with it. And it's also in the sense realistic because there are mistakes that Cassandro makes as an individual that really shine through, you know, whether he's having a relationship with a, you know, husband that's married, or he's trying to have a relationship with a character who's played by Bad Bunny. There is realistic natures there. There is real consequences, but it never goes to the sense of not being like, you know, somewhat of a fun and entertaining romp, I guess you could say, in a lot of respects. And it does it with like pause and, you know, ploy and so on and so forth. And I just really love it. I think Gael García Bernal is fantastic. It's definitely an Oscar worthy performance. I think it's one that just takes the material. This is also a film that was consulted by the actual person that is Cassandro, and it doesn't ever feel cheap or inauthentic in a lot of respects. And I think the wrestling is well done. I love the behind the scenes stuff with like the promoters. I like the idea like when Cassandro kind of moves up in the ranks, there's a point where the two luchadors are basically fighting and are like wanting to keep Cassandro down, but one of them gets paid like extra money if they let Cassandro win. So I like that behind the scenes nature where you see how it works out. And it doesn't stay on any scene too long. You know, the stuff with the training, it's there, it's done, but it's not like the whole entire movie. So the movie moves for an hour and 47 minutes. It never feels boring at all. Yes, I would have liked a little bit more with the train sequences. I really feel like trainer Sabrina, who's played by Roberta Colindrez, she does a really nice job. There's some really fun moments in there, but I could use a little bit more of the relationship there because it feels like some stuff is missing out that maybe got cut out that could be brought back in the movie and make it work a little bit better. But I mean, in the end, this is a film that just really works. It really is interesting. It's really entertaining. You learn something new about a sport that you didn't know much about. I love the fact that when they do this, they allow like individuals that you may never have heard of, especially myself, even though Cassandro is a really important figure in the world of Lucha Libre. It allows this character to get much more exposure. And once again, this is coming through Amazon Prime, and I really feel like it's a winner. Is it going to be my top 10? Maybe honorable mention at this point. I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's definitely a film worth watching. I think it's entertaining, and I think it really is a powerful look into an individual that had a lot of spirit and never felt like he got himself down, and also allowed that humanity of the father, the mother and son relationship, as well as the father aspect and stuff like that. So it's a very well done movie, definitely worth a watch. So with that said, that will do it for my take on the Amazon Prime original movie Cassandro. Definitely worth a watch. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What did you think of this movie if you watch it? Did you like it? Did you feel like it was a very uplifting sports movie? All that good stuff. But with that said, thank you so much. And if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top the phones coming in next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. As always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.